There comes a moment in life where something shifts quietly inside us. It often happens after a time of deep pain, loss, or longing, a deep pull that words can barely capture. It's not just a heartbreak or a passing connection. It feels ancient, soul deep, like something you've always known but forgotten. This is often the starting point of the twin flame journey, and more often than not, it's the divine feminine who senses it first. She is the one who begins to awaken before her counterpart, not by choice, but by design. Her soul is called to rise earlier, to remember earlier, to begin the inner work while the divine masculine sleeps on, not yet aware that his world will also be shaken to its core. This unfolding is not unfair or accidental. It is a sacred orchestration. The divine feminine's early awakening is purposeful, deep, and necessary because she is the heart of the spiritual alchemy that fuels the entire twin flame union. In this narration, we'll explore why this awakening happens in this way, what it means, and how the divine feminine can find strength, understanding, and faith during the long, confusing, and yet transformative stages that follow. Let us begin with the very nature of the divine feminine energy and why it is so intimately connected with spiritual awakening. Number 1, the divine feminine is the energy of intuition and inner sensing. The divine feminine energy is naturally attuned to the unseen. She senses beyond the material. Her awareness flows inwards, deep into the emotional, spiritual, and intuitive realms. Unlike the divine masculine, who anchors his experience in action, logic, and outer achievements, the feminine is moved by subtle energy, dreams, synchronicities, and emotional truths that whisper through her heart. It is precisely because of this sensitivity that the feminine awakens first. Her soul begins to feel the stirrings of a deeper love, a sacred connection that transcends the rational mind. Often, she doesn't even have the words for it. There's just a knowing. She may begin to feel a longing for someone she's never met, or if she's met her twin already, she feels the magnetic bond long before he recognizes it. She starts to feel a sense of urgency, a pull to go inward, to question everything she thought love was. This awakening usually doesn't happen through joy, but through a spiritual crisis. It's as though something breaks open within her, old traumas, past relationships, emotional patterns. She may experience intense highs and lows, and yet she stays with it because her soul recognizes that this is not madness, it is awakening. She begins to search for meaning. She meditates, reads, journals, prays. She opens to spirit, to guidance, to divine timing. The feminine is the one who first hears the inner call and answers it. She does not do this because she is stronger or better. She does this because it is her sacred role in the alchemy of the union. Her awakening sets the foundation for everything that comes next. Her healing is the beginning of their shared healing. Her remembering allows the divine masculine to eventually recognize her light. So when you, as the divine feminine, wonder why you feel so much while your twin seems so unaware, remember, your heart is not a burden, it is a beacon. You are not waking up alone. You are waking up first, because your soul is designed to feel before he can see. Number 2, the feminine must heal the wound of abandonment first. One of the earliest and deepest wounds that surfaces during the twin flame journey is the feeling of being abandoned. After encountering her twin, the divine feminine often faces a period of silence, rejection, or separation. This can feel devastating. But this pain isn't just about the current situation. It activates ancient wounds that go all the way back to childhood and even past lives. The feminine may feel unloved, unchosen, and invisible. These feelings are deeply rooted in the collective feminine experience through generations of suppression, neglect, and spiritual amnesia. Her twin's apparent distance triggers a profound inner crisis, and this is exactly where the deeper work begins. The feminine is the emotional healer of the twin flame union. Her soul carries the codes to heal abandonment, not just for herself, but for her lineage, and by extension, for her twin. When she chooses to face these emotions instead of running from them, she starts breaking patterns that have kept both souls trapped for lifetimes. This healing is not easy. She must learn to sit with her pain without making it mean that she is unworthy. She must learn to find her wholeness, even while feeling half of her soul is somewhere else. She must begin to mother herself, to offer love where she once sought validation. She has to stop reaching outward and begin turning inward where her divinity lives. This process of inner healing is crucial because until the feminine stops looking for her twin to complete her, she will continue to feel broken and betrayed. But once she begins to choose herself, not in bitterness but in empowerment, she starts anchoring the energy of union within her. She becomes the embodiment of love and not the seeker of it. Her healing then radiates outward. Even in silence, even in distance, the masculine feels the shift. He may not understand it, but he begins to change. Her choice to heal herself is what creates the spiritual space for him to begin his awakening. This is why she wakes up first, because she must be the one to remember that love begins within. Only then can the union come into balance. Number 3, her awakening sets the blueprint for the union. The twin flame journey is not just about romance, it's about union at the soul level. This kind of union requires both beings to reach a level of alignment, healing, and spiritual maturity that cannot be rushed or faked. The feminine, in waking up first, becomes the blueprint holder of this sacred process. She begins the inner alignment that eventually calls her counterpart into the same. She learns to embody unconditional love, not the kind that accepts mistreatment or waits passively, but the kind that holds space, speaks truth, and knows when to surrender. Her awakening teaches her discernment. She starts to recognize the difference between egoic attachment and divine connection. She learns to ground her energy, to choose peace over drama, and to stay aligned with her soul rather than reacting to her twin's behavior. She does not chase. She does not beg. She rises. This rising sends out a powerful signal to the universe and to her twin. It is not a message of control, but of trust. It is a vibration that says, I am whole, I am love. I do not need to be rescued because I remember who I am. In doing this, she creates a mirror. Her inner alignment shows the masculine what is possible. He may resist, he may deny, but slowly his soul begins to feel the pull. Not to her, exactly, but to his own healing, his own awakening, his own return to love. She doesn't need to say a word. Her energy speaks the truth that his soul can no longer ignore. This is why the feminine wakes up first, to plant the seeds of sacred union in energetic soil, to hold the vision even when nothing makes sense, to lead the way, not through control, but through radiance. And so, if you find yourself in the place of waiting, hoping, or doubting, know this: your awakening is not in vain. You are laying the foundation. You are becoming the blueprint, and that is the most powerful thing you can do. Number 4, the divine feminine awakens collective consciousness. The twin flame journey is deeply personal, but it is also deeply collective. When one divine feminine awakens, it sends a ripple into the collective field. Her healing becomes part of the healing of the greater feminine consciousness on Earth. Her courage to feel, to rise, to reclaim her voice, it affects all souls connected to this sacred path. She is not just waking up for herself. She is waking up for every woman who was told to stay small, quiet, or dependent. She is waking up for every soul who has longed for divine love but settled for something lesser. She is waking up for the future, for the generations to come, who will walk into a world where spiritual union is no longer rare but natural. Because the divine feminine holds this deep collective energy, she is the one who must remember first. She is the one who must break the spell. She sees the illusions in society, in relationships, in herself, and begins to dismantle them. Her awakening is an act of sacred rebellion. She no longer accepts the old ways. She demands depth, truth, and soul. This is not a gentle process. It can feel lonely, exhausting, and even unbearable at times. She may cry out to the universe, asking why she must carry so much while her twin seems untouched. But the truth is, she is strong enough. Not because she never breaks, but because she chooses to rise again and again. Her awakening creates a channel between the earth and the divine. She becomes a vessel through which new consciousness flows. And as she heals, awakens, and rises, she calls others into their light as well. This is why she wakes up first, because her soul is a lighthouse, built to shine through the storm. Number 5, her light triggers the divine masculine's awakening. There comes a time when the divine feminine's inner work reaches a tipping point. She has surrendered. She no longer chases or waits. She trusts the timing. She lives from the heart. She has learned to sit in her power, not controlling, not convincing, simply being. and in that being, her light becomes undeniable. At this point, her twin, who may have appeared asleep, lost, or even avoidant, begins to feel the shift. He doesn't always understand it. Often, it comes as restlessness, confusion, or emotional breakdowns. But beneath it all, his soul has been stirred. Her light has activated something within him that he cannot unsee. This is the sacred mirror. He begins to see what he has been avoiding: his pain, his patterns, his fears. He starts to realize that something is missing in the life he has built. Her energy is no longer soothing him or reaching for him. It is standing in her truth. That truth becomes his wake-up call. But here's where the feminine must understand something crucial. His awakening will not look like hers. It will not be full of poetry, signs, and spiritual insights. It may look messy, angry, even destructive. He may run harder. He may lash out. But all of it is part of the same fire, the fire of transformation. He is being called home, not to her, but to himself. Her job is not to rescue him, interpret his actions, or wait in silence. Her job is to keep expanding, keep loving, keep living in alignment. Her awakening has done its part. It has lit the match. Now the masculine must walk his own fire. This is why she wakes up first, to be the spark that starts the sacred burning. The twin flame journey is not linear. It is not fair or symmetrical, but it is divine. The divine feminine wakes up first, not because she is more advanced or more loving. She wakes up first because she holds the memory of divine love in her bones. She is the one who remembers. She is the one who feels the ancient call. And it is through her pain, her rising, her becoming, that the entire union begins to unfold. If you are that feminine, the one who cries in silence, who loves in the unseen, who carries the vision, you are not alone. You are not too much. You are not delusional. You are sacred. And your awakening is the most powerful act of love you can offer to yourself, to your twin, and to the world. Stay the course. Let your heart break open. Let your spirit rise. You are not ahead. You are aligned. You are not waiting. You are weaving the path. You are not without love. You are becoming it. And in time, as your twin begins to stir, he will find his way not because you called him, but because your soul reminded his of the truth. The truth that love is real, that union is sacred, that your journey has always been leading back, not just to each other, but to God, to wholeness, to home.